set, start. Hello everyone, welcome to Retro Gaming Today. My name is Max S. I call myself that guy with the Game Boy camera. About 6 years ago, I just went around taking people's photos with this Game Boy camera, bring them on receipt paper with this Game Boy printer. I know, unusual in this millennium. It's been something I'm doing for about 6 years. And then I went on social media in 2018, and it led to an interview by the LA Times about Game Boys at 30, which kind of inspired me to do research on how older classic games are still around in interesting ways. Well, and there are quite a lot. So, before we decide how retro gaming is still relevant, we gotta talk about what counts as retro. Hey, come in. Alright, what does count as retro? What gamers seem to agree on is fifth generation, which is PlayStation, Nintendo 64, Sega Saturn, and anything before that, even back to when video games were being made at universities, with just two ships hitting each other. We also include Dreamcast, which was Sega's last console, and around the time the Nintendo 64 was around, but when the Dreamcast ended, that was it for Sega making consoles, not counting Genesis Minis. We also count Game Boy Advance and anything before that for handhelds. Game Boy Advances are no longer supported on any platform. That is for cartridges. I mean, not like, sure, you can download Game Boy Advance games on your Nintendo DS, but as far as cartridges go, they're not supported. This also includes older PC games. I'm not much of a PC gamer. It includes 90s PC games and MS-DOS and older arcade games. Alright, they're definitely made under different means of development. How games were made back then are definitely how they made now. These days you can just, make your graphics in Photoshop and overlay them over your actors. Alright, back then you had to type out your graphics. Alright, so definitely the technology changes. Drastically look and feel. So, let's see. So, a lot of games these days looks pretty smooth. Back then, mostly pixels and blocks, 8-bit, 16-bit. Then when things got 3D, they were just all pointy and blocky. But now, we're in the smooth age. But of course, people like to make retro-style games, but those are made under different means today than back then. They don't have any support from the makers or devs. So if you want your Nintendo, your old NES, fixed, well, Nintendo's not going to help you. You got to find a secondhand store or a specialist or see who's in the area. All right. Let's see. No longer sold in major retail stores. So anything before the I know GameCube and Xbox and PlayStation 2 were not sold in Walmarts, but they're not counted as retro. Definitely not Nintendo 64. But yeah, last time I went to Walmart, yeah, there were Wii games still there. All right, but they're not sold in any major retail stores. All right, then it can be part of a collector's market. Lots of these games are going for high prices. Probably not as much as when they were sold, but there is a collector's market, so they're good to hold on to, especially if they're sealed. Which brings me to this point about how far the collector's market is going. Alright, there is a market for games that are graded and sealed. Like how we have CGC. Hey, come on, take a seat. We're talking video games. Hello, welcome. Alright, we're at the part where I'm talking about graded and sealed games. Alright, welcome. Alright, so yes, much like how comics get the CGC, trading cards too, there's a market for video games that are cased and sealed and graded, and it increases their value. Even more if they're in the box. Because hey, there are games that sold millions, but their boxes were thrown out. Unlike, let's say, the cases hey, I know games come on discs and we keep the cases for the disc's sake, not so much for the cartridges, but so yeah, if you keep the cartridge in the box, yep, it'll increase the value. Yeah, even some have an original sticker, so that sticker can make a difference in value. Okay. I know, I can't think of any specifically, but yeah, there are games with that sticker. Alright. Well, anyway, if you have any vintage games still in the box and you want it graded, sealed, and possibly to increase the value, contact Wata Games, W-A-T-A. And by the way, how much would a Super Mario Brothers in the box, get graded sealed? How much will that go upwards? I've seen prices around 100,000. I know, it's a rare one. I know, you can find Super Mario Brothers at your swap meet, but in the box? Alright, tough luck. Alright, so why do we draw the line at the 5th generation Dreamcast, Game Boy Advance? Well, let's see. The Dreamcast was Sega's last console, an early 3D venture, and ended in 2001, which was around the time Nintendo 64 went out. When the PlayStation 2 was rolling in, and all that. Alright, the original Nintendo DS did play the Game Boy Advance games. Then the 3DS came out, no more Game Boy Advance games were supported. Though your 3DS can still play the 2D, those original DS games. Alright, so Nintendo 64, PlayStation, early ventures into 3D gaming. Then they were succeeded by the GameCube and PlayStation 2. Alright, now, this is just by observation. GameCube, Xbox, PlayStation 2 games, PSP games, well, they just feel like they hold up compared to today. Super Mario Sunshine holds up in all these games. Ninja Gaiden still is one of the best games you can play. Try playing that today. Still holds up. I know, there's more we can choose from. Alright, GameCube games can be still played on the Wii. The Wii is not considered retros, and GameCube is still supported. Though not on the Wii U. The GameCube controllers are still being supported. They're like the standard for Super Smash Brothers, game tournaments. Alright, now some Xbox games can be played on the current Xbox One. It's done through an emulator. You can either download them or you can load your disc. And the first PlayStation 3 models did play PS2 games, though not these days with PS4. They're streamed. And as far as the Wii goes, still hanging in there. There's a Just Dance 2020 coming out, so that might be the last one. Alright, so what makes us still play these games? Many reasons. Anyone want to throw any answers? Yeah, well, what makes us... Good answer. Alright, well, nostalgia is a good answer. Well, nostalgic feeling. Hey, we got money now, so we can go out and buy them again. We go to work, we buy games. And hey, they're challenging. There's the term Nintendo hard, so it's definitely more difficult than all your games you're playing today. Hey, I like the Telltale games, but you're just pressing one button at a time and seeing the story. And there's an issue of taxes. Tariffs on China are bringing into question if they'll raise the current video game prices. It's a bit up in the air right now, but I think all your Switch and PlayStation 4 games are going to be safe. So it's up in the air, so let's see how it goes. So let's not get too political here. And there are motivations according to GameStop for gaming. There's immersion, achievement, creativity, and community. So if it brings us together, well, there's some good there. Alright, one way they're relevant. Well, we got a lot of enduring franchises out there. Still around, makes us want to go back to the beginning. Hey, people seeing Star Wars, the latest Star Wars movies, may as well you want to see the first ones. Same with games. You buy Mario Odyssey or the latest Mario Party or Mario Kart, makes you want to look at the earlier ones. See how they start with these blocky characters. I know, we see the evolution of Zelda, Sonic, who's got the movie coming out, and Metroid. And by the way, Other M disappointed me. We need a proper Metroid game. Hopefully the next Metroid Prime 4 Echoes does justice. Another way, we get recommendations, or hey, we're just curious. Earthbound has become the quintessential cult classic of gaming. I know, it didn't sell well at the beginning, even though it was perfect for the time, but, less wasn't ordered, and so the